Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome along to this twice weekly streaming comedy show thingy that we do from our homes because we've been told that we can't leave, we have to stay in, and we can't get up to any sort of enjoyable fun. We're right there with you on that one, Megan. And through the show, we will be talking about various news stories and the problems therein, solving them. If you want to get involved, I believe it's this little button, there you are. You can join the conversation, do some chitty chats. One of the best places to do it would be the main YouTube. If you could subscribe on there, you'll get to see all of the latest stuff. Hit the bell. I don't know what it means. Just do it. Feels like a thing. Feels like you should be somehow conditioned to do that. If every time you hit the bell on YouTube, we give you food, eventually you'll salivate. I'm not sure. And as we go through it, we can talk about the Ko-fi.com link to give us some small donations. Just the small donations, keeping us going. That's all we need.
Yep.
That's all we need.
Or the big donations. You can do that. And thank you for people who booked on Crack Comedy in advance of the show, some of whom have been buying those I Feel Generous tickets for 20 quid.
Nice.
Which is madness. So you're welcome to do that if you want. But if you just want to chip in a little bit and buy us a drink, that's what the Ko-fi, I think, is meant to sound like. Coffee, Ko-fi. No one knows, but you're welcome to do that. So yeah, and we'll be checking comments as we go. One that we do have a bit of a problem that's a bit unique. I'm looking over here at my screen. If you lift up, I believe it's going to be your right hand, Steve, and bring it forward.
Oh, this is my box thing.
There you go.
I just shifted after the big panic with the sound.
It's gone. And is that your mic? I can still see in shot.
It is this whole thing is the fancy pants mic.
Okay, there we go. So cool. I mean, it's nice to have it there. It gives a little bit of context, gives some depth to the shot, but I didn't know if you wanted it there.
No.
So, flawless, fucking flawless. A year of doing this.
Hey, we're getting there. It's looking better. That's the whole plan.
It's looking better. It's looking good. We're looking good. This is my wedding jacket. All right. I'm not going to say which wedding. So, I have the first problem tonight, Steve, and this is a problem that affects me personally. Which I don't normally try and get real personal on the show, obviously. What do you do when there's one story that's the biggest story in the whole world and you don't want to talk about it? You've already mentioned it. You know what it is, basically, because I've been an expat in the UK as an American for 20 years. I was blamed back in the day for George W. Bush, right? I was blamed about Donald Trump. The same people are now going to look at me and say, look at what Meghan did to our Harry.
Yeah.
He was a nice young lad, wearing Nazi uniforms, running around in Switzerland or wherever he was, looking for the family's gold, and look what she's done. So, we have to deal with this. And we have to deal with it, obviously, from the American perspective, because she is American, and they were on America, and they were on America's royalty, Oprah. And we're getting headlines now like this one. Americans are angry with the royal family. Yeah, the whole honeymoon period after Diana is over now, guys. Americans are pissed off. You have messed with the star of Suits. One of the stars of Suits. I don't think she was the main star of Suits, but she's definitely the one who's done the best out of all of the people from Suits. I can't even think of any of the other actors or actresses. So it's become a big deal. Now, I am not going to do anything to belittle the claims that Meghan has made, right? She's made, I think, legitimate claims about how she was feeling, how she was treated, about the way she was treated from a racial perspective, about the comments made about her son's skin tone and that kind of thing. I'm not going to take the piss out of that because now prepare yourselves, guys, for a technical term. I know Steve normally does the science. This is a very technical term. I'm not going to criticize Meghan for that because I'm not an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Very specific to this situation. And I do really hope that some good comes from this, as awful as it is. One of the things that I don't know if this is right for me to enjoy this, Steve, so you're going to have to I need you to tell me, and people in the comments can tell me as well. The moment where Meghan told Oprah about the fact that someone had asked her what Archie's skin color might be, Oprah had this reaction. What? I mean, that pause and that reaction where clearly she was just sitting there thinking, I don't think I can say, what the fuck? She knew she's Oprah, right? Yeah. She has the dignity and gravitas that you want from your royals. Obviously, talking about this situation is also going to forced me to talk about one of the people that I'm very conflicted about on the show, and that's Piers Morgan. Because over the last year or so, Piers has flipped on Trump, and I've supported that, and I've liked that. He's been on the right side of the lockdown, right? And it always has made me uncomfortable. He was right about guns in America. That's why he lost his job at CNN. And being on the side of an argument with Piers is always an uncomfortable place to be. But with Meghan, he can't seem to get her out of his head. And then this morning, this happened on his show.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can track him, maybe not my.
No.
See you later.
I'm being.
Sorry, can't do
This is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour.
So Piers, Mr. Everybody's a Snowflake but me, couldn't handle it, stormed off after criticizing the government for not coming on the show for the last year because of the pandemic. Stormed off, right? And it kind of looked staged. He said he wasn't staged on Twitter later in the day. He said that he actually tweeted this tweet after it happened. We've got the tweet here, where he said, "I stormed off because I was not going to allow my co-host to call me diabolical." But if you just listen to the clip, he was already well the fuck out of his chair by the time that he was said that it was diabolical, right? So he just couldn't take it. And, you know, I have to say, we were preparing this story to talk about tonight, and we were going to talk about Piers and everything else, and then this happened as breaking news. Piers has not just walked off the set, he's walked off the show. He's out. Now, I have to say, Steve, I was on the phone with you when this broke, and you couldn't see me, but this was my reaction right here.
What?
I'm with you, Oprah. I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, we have a crisis with the royal family, and somehow Piers is out, but Prince Andrew is still in.
Yes.
How does that happen, right? And how does Piers manage to make it all about him? Like, the Queen released a statement tonight. Nobody's even reading that because they're all talking about Piers storming off the set, right? You know, we're not even talking about Meghan's accusations about institutional racism anymore. It's all about Piers and what he's going to do. I mean, is that what it takes to get attention for a show like Good Morning Britain and Piers? Is that you just have to just decide you're going to walk out? You know, to get noticed, to get media attention, to get the YouTube hits that both of you and I want? That's it? That's what you got to do?
It's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's a pretty good idea. Right, that's it. I'm not taking this anymore.
Walk it
I'm
out.
out of this. Forget it.
Going.
There's no way. I'm
Going.
not putting up with this crap anymore.
Like, you're walking?
What? Have you walked out?
I have walked out.
I thought I was going to be Piers in this, and you were being Alex.
Is that the dude who does the weather? I didn't know his name.
Yeah, I thought. Are you Susanna? We can't both walk out on a. Oh.
I could have stayed sat down because I don't have trousers on. I've
Well-
done the show.
Neither does Susanna. So maybe you are. You know what? Forget it. It's come back. We can't even flipping storm out. Oh my days!
What am I supposed to do now?
Sit down.
Do you think we'll get extra money now that I've shown some skin?
I mean, if we upload that clip to OnlyFans. Wow.
I need a drink.
You know, there's some things you're not ready for when you're doing this show. That's one of them.
I didn't have anywhere to go. I couldn't walk off camera. The door is locked over here, and you've got the fancy wireless mic. I don't.
Yeah, well, this is why we've had all the problems. I've had to put an extra flipping 3 yards of wire in just for that joke.
We can't both walk off.
Well, you make some very good points.
Should we see? Well, Tracy has come. Tracy has retracted her comment.
Really?
This
Is
in
that
the
one?
comments. It just says message retracted. So I don't know.
There is one. She did at some point say good evening all, but I'm sure it wasn't that one. Why would you retract? Actually, maybe that was the one. She was like, good evening. And then she sees your backside on TV and is like,
I put on extra pants.
extra pants.
Well, I didn't want anything to
Oh, you've double layers. You've double bagged.
double bagged. Well, triple bagged, technically.
Yeah. Wowzers. The Exquisite said I had to stop maturating at that point. I guess you're talking about eating your breakfast when Piers stormed off. No one should care. Why Oh my God. There's nothing that's worth caring about Piers Morgan storming off. Victoria says, worth every inch, Steve. What, of Eric? Oh, hopefully you mean my lead extension and not... Oh, you should have triple bagged if they've spotted inchage.
Yeah, we covered before that we talk about these things in centimeters, not inches. Because you get more higher numbers that way.
Martin S says Morgan Gate, but for a second I read it as Moron Gate, and I think they both work.
One's about us, one's about Morgan.
You can keep the comments coming through. We've got the YouTube thing on the screen right now.
And I have seen a Ko-fi come in as well, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
I can't see who it was yet, but I will
it.
give you a shout out once the name comes through. So thank you for that. For those who've done a Ko-fi.
That was Chris says that was a TikTok head leaning moment, and I don't know why. I don't know what they are either. And Brit says quality trouserless entertainment. Double bagged actually makes me feel a bit queasy, and that's what we're here for.
To be honest, it's making me feel a little queasy as well. Let me just let the boys out. There you go.
Good lighting tonight, says Jack. I've totally re-kitted all the lighting, like you wouldn't believe. Spent the day being all techie. And Piers,
jokes, forget jokes.
Yeah, look at the quality lighting.
The lighting, guys.
Quality lighting. And Mark says good evening, and someone else says, Britt says Piers keep a hold of your handbag. He's very much doing, ooh, I'm storming off. Oh, I'm not being spoken to like this. I have a feeling he was probably leaving anyway. Like, probably got a new job on GB News, whatever it's called, and wanted to do it for publicity. Just my theory. There we go.
It's good. It's good. We're talking about it, unfortunately. And I have to say to Martin, my webcam is actually much better quality than Steve's.
But the lighting. I mean, originally, as a brief aside, Eric bought a webcam, a lovely one, and I managed to just get like the crappiest, cheapest one. Yeah. And yours looked way better. Then I managed to up my lighting, and mine looked better, and it shouldn't have done because it was cheaper. And then one day after the show, we were like, why don't you just turn the lights around? And suddenly your webcam was like, boom, high def. Nuts. So I've got the lighting. Hopefully it shouldn't be quite as blear in the eyes. It used to look like I was magical. I tried to get rid of that.
Oh,
no,
you are.
But it's also been processed as well because I've worked out how to do that. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here to solve problems.
Realize if I tell you you're magical while I'm not wearing trousers, that's probably not the show people have come to see.
But it's the show they deserve.
It's what you get.
If you are enjoying the show at all, you could chuck some money. I'm wearing a white shirt today, so you can't see it. In the supportthecomics.ko-fi.com. That's the bit. So you can chuck some money in there. But I mean, I suppose it should, in theory, be my turn to talk about the Meghan and Harry thing. I don't want to because I don't care that much about royals. This is what I don't care about is royals. The concept bothers me. The idea that there is one family that has a God-given right to consider itself better than the rest of us, so much so that they get to rule us. I'm not really interested in that. That just seems terrible. So when we end up seeing that Harry's falling out with his dad, it's famous. All there are is famous people. If you take away this wrong thing about them ruling us, you've got famous people. You've got a famous couple falling out with their famous family. That's all the famous people do. This is basically the Gallagher brothers. In as much as there's a family feud and there's a song that every so often we enjoy singing along to. I mean, if you had to pick National Anthem or Don't Look Back in Anger, but given that leaves me in a situation of not really caring that much about what was said, and the bits I do care about I'm not surprised by. So I don't really know which of my little cards to hold up. Do I hold up my I don't care card? Or my I'm not surprised card? And we can go through some of the stories and see which it is. I mean, when I was sat there watching it, and yes, I did watch it. As you'll see if you saw me on Twitter, I did tweet this episode of The Crown's a bit weird. So I was clearly watching it. There's no point pretending that I didn't watch it. And then I woke up this morning and saw that basically the same joke was done by an ex-porn star. And I wonder why the Daily Star didn't show a picture of me in something that's off the shoulder. It's a weird old world. So already I was not caring about it, and there's no point me having a comment on it because other people will just say the same thing and look better doing it. So, but there was this bit where Meghan said that she hadn't even Googled Harry before marrying into the royal family. Now some people say, I don't believe that. I got no evidence to say that that's wrong and no interest in proving her wrong. I mean, I've not Googled Prince Harry, and even I knew that he dressed as a Nazi and played naked billiards and did some cannabis. Not on the same night, of course, because you can't play naked billiards if you're dressed as a Nazi. Think about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to find that story. That story came and found me. So there should be some things that you just knew, but it's absolutely fine if you didn't. And then you're right, there's been a statement about it. And there's the Queen saying that she's saddened. Again, Of course, there's going to be a statement saying it's sad and blah, blah. They're just going through the motions, and none of it really matters. And that just means that the people who like the royals are getting all upset, going like, "Oh, I feel desperately sorry for the Queen." Why do you feel sorry? She is the monarch in charge of this country, and she's not been beheaded, so she's done better than a lot of people who had her job. Really, you need to change the level of things that bother you. Like Richard III was stabbed and left under a car park in Leicester. And no one should ever have to go to Leicester. You saw that was going to happen. We all knew that joke was coming, but I did it for you anyway.
Thank you.
So, I don't really care about that one. Other parts that came up, you mentioned the thing about Harry saying that racism was a large part of why they left the UK, and that is a serious issue. I mean, it does make me say, you ended up in America.
Oh.
I mean, that's like saying... It's like saying you left the UK because of obesity and ended up in America. But I realise it's not, they didn't plan to go to America. They wanted to leave the UK and go to Canada. And it's not as if Canada's got any problem with racism. Let's have a look at who's in charge over there. This is the problem with not Googling people. You have to check this stuff out. But you're right to say there were some serious points that were made, like when they talked about someone asking how dark Archie's skin would be. So if you're saying to me, are the royal family racist? Of course. I mean, look, this is a family that's got Prince Philip in them. I've got here a list of racist things that Prince Philip has said in public whilst on special events thing. Let me just have a look at my... Oh. Do you know what? We don't have time to go through all of them. And they were just the ones that were done in public. And we all know that more people do more funny accents at home than they do out in public. So, or they do it when they think they're near a fellow racist. And as a man who is quite shaven-headed of look, I've had a few approaches in my time. I don't know if you know what it's like. Someone thinks, oh, this guy might be racist. And they don't come over and go like, hey, racist, right? They test you out. And they say ask a few questions that might give you an opportunity to give yourself away as a fellow racist. They'll say things like, hi, have you got any favourite ethnic groups? Actually, they'll probably ask a better question than that. That's not that subtle. Have you got any favourite ethnic groups? Yeah, the Visigoths between the 5th and the 8th century. And then they walk away and leave me alone. Actually,
I know you hate the Visigoths.
I hate the Visigoths. The worst thing to happen to the 5th to the 8th century.
It's strained our friendship a number of times.
Lower French gits is what they are. But then the other thing that's happened in my life is that, look, I was born in the Midlands, and there are a few people up there with some choice opinions, and they stopped even testing whether I was racist or not when I had a 10-year relationship with a Chinese woman. And that actually helps. I think if ever you want someone to think you're not racist, do that. Prince Philip, if you're watching, maybe if you want to change your image, have a 10-year relationship. Well, maybe not a 10-year relationship. But, there are options. But that's only one side of why we shouldn't be surprised by the fact that there's racism built into the royal family. If racism is thinking that other races are beneath you, this is a family that think all other families are beneath them. It is like super racist is what they've managed to be. So I'm not surprised by that. In fact, out of all that we saw, the bits that I couldn't hold this up for, there's only one. And that's this bit, where Meghan Markle said that she went to Her Majesty's Human Resources Department. They have a Human Resources Department? That means it's an HRHHR. In fact, if you're up in Yorkshire saying that, you'd say, this is how Yorkshire people say it, oh, that's RHRHHR. And if they heard bad news about it, they'd have to say RHRHHR. Oh. And what if the news was that someone had nicked a pencil from the Human Resources Department of Buckingham Palace and they were saying it up in Yorkshire and it was bad news? Yeah. RHRHHB. And if that pencil was from a bank, HSB, do you know what? I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, that's my hot take on a topic I'm not talking about.
I'm glad that we left it alone. I mean, I was just, I was like, whatever Steve does for the next story, as long as he doesn't talk about that, and you didn't.
Didn't talk about that. Even made props. Let's get rid of them.
Thank you. Thank you for not covering that story.
Yeah, it's all right. My pleasure. Anytime. Right.
Story's not. So we've had a few Ko-fis come in, so thank you very much. I'm going to try and see who the names are there. And do you want to start us off on comment?
Yeah. Shout out to Charlotte, who says, good evening all. I did donate earlier but forgot to put the name on it. Charlotte, thank you very much for that. Martin, who says, I blame the Ostrogoths. Don't get me started.
Oh, let's not turn it into that kind of show, guys. Although those shows do get more YouTube clips.
Imagine that. We do an entire show called What's Your Favourite Ethnic Group? And just wait for people to get upset, and it's just a list of various goths.
I was going to say I doubted Charlotte's claim, but there is someone named Ko-fi supporter who donated. So.
Oh, look at you actually checking the admin. Look at that. Getting to the bottom of this one.
Well, when somebody says I didn't put my name on it, that just sounds like, yeah, all right, okay. Yeah. But it's there. So
feel free. And anyone in the comment section who wants to lie about having donated, feel free to do that as well.
You're covered tonight because that one. Thank you also to Chris and to Mart who have donated too. So look at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can go over to a different mouse. I've rejigged my setup and I'm not sure it's
Martin
working.
says you could have a top trump set of cards for the royal family without Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I wonder if Meg is off Liz's Christmas card list now. I think I would not. If I were Meghan, I would not open anything that came in the post from the UK.
Britt says you need a card that just says yawn ZZZ. I think I tried to get that across. Then how can one family be that important? If the only reason they're famous is because they're royal, just ignore them facts. Ignore them.
They're vital to the United Kingdom, Steve.
That's the point. They're not. Mark says,
I swore an oath to her.
To Meghan? What are you Americans up to?
To the Queen.
Oh.
When I became British.
Close. Chris says Midlands method. Yep, that's what it's like up there. Favourite ethnic group, says Mark Randall, Earth, Wind and Fire. God. It's like taking requests on Time FM, this one. That's your knighthood doing Piers Morgan, Steve. Yep, walking straight out there. Come on. What, a knighthood for services to barely watched YouTube streaming shows? I think I managed to avoid any sort of honour a long time ago.
Yeah, we deserve it more than most.
Yeah. Let's have a look. You could hang on. We've got a few more coming through here. I've just gone off the wrong
ones on my side. But do if you get a chance, you can subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that. YouTube. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. And someone from the Black Country would respond with an R. R. HRHHR.
It is a complicated language you have here in this country.
It did take me most of the day practicing that bit. I'm not saying it was worth it, but that's how I spent my time.
It wasn't worth it.
HRHHRHB.
And if you don't like that, you can take it up with our HR department.
Oh. Our HR department.
Our HR.
So, if you'd like to contribute some doshage, there's the thing there as well. How do we get rid of that? There we are. Ko-fi.com/comic solving problems.
You can join Charlotte and her friends. So, right. Should we crack on with another problem, Steve?
Yes. What have you got for us?
The problem with dogs.
No problem with dogs.
It's a big one. Because I got my dog. I got my buddy. I love him. I love him dearly, although he did break off the lead, which tonight going after a fox. But you know what? That fox doesn't belong around here. And it was exciting as well as a dog person that Biden has dogs in the White House, and we talked about it on the show that he was bringing back dogs into the White House. We covered it right here, actually. How do you effectively attack Joe Biden?
Ooh.
Yeah, not physically, obviously. We're talking about actual political rhetoric, not the insurrection kind sponsored by Donald Trump. But the thing is, Joe Biden is likable. They've tried to call him a radical. They tried to call him tired. They called him Sleepy Joe. They tried corrupt. And he's hard to attack because he ends up having headlines like this one. Joe Biden, dogs, Major and Champ will be the first presidential pups in the White House for 4 years. I mean, Steve, accusing him of being a dog lover doesn't have the bite you'd expect.
Hey.
Yeah. I just wanted to put that in there so you can see I can write a joke, even if it wasn't this episode. It's a prior episode. But we were all excited to see that Biden had brought the dogs back into the White House. But the things have turned a little bit, as we can see here. Biden's German Shepherd, after an aggressive incident, has been sent back to Delaware. I mean, what did the dogs do to get sent to Delaware? Jesus, that is a harsh punishment. That's like going to Leicester, Steve.
I'm glad we're both doing the same joke. Yeah.
It's worse. Yeah. So what exactly happened? This is the story.
Dogs of President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden are no longer at the White House, at least temporarily, after one of them had a tense moment with a staff member. CNN reports Major, their 3-year-old German Shepherd, had what was described as a biting incident with a member of White House security.
Oh. No, that's right. A biting incident. They don't want to go into details because, like all White Houses, they're very private about these kinds of things. But my favorite part of that news clip was the clip of the other newsreader hearing the news about the dog, which I've got just that bit right here. If we can play that.
Biting incident with a member.
Oh, that's the sound you make when the dog nips your balls. Oh.
You should double bag.
Yeah, that's why. I always, to be fair, wear this amount of protection, especially when we're coming on this show. Never the trousers, always the double bag.
Nice.
But the thing is, the guard actually, it was a serious moment where the guard was checking a car for explosives when the incident occurred, which we actually have footage of that moment right here. Look at the cute little doggy. Does your little doggy want a treat? Does your little doggy want a treat?
What film is that?
That's Cujo. You don't know Cujo?
I'm going to have to watch that later tonight. That's so good.
Classic Stephen King movie. How could you not know Cujo?
Never seen it.
I can't believe I've done this show with you for a year. I mean, that scene, actually, the suspense they built into that, the actual whole clip of her walking outside the car with the dramatic music is over a minute long with no dog in sight. I was like, I wanted to play the whole thing, but it was just too long. Cujo, Stephen King classic. I can't believe they're taking the dogs out. And I can't believe I didn't put the clips in there. Who took the dogs out?
I can't believe you didn't do it.
A massive oversight.
Whoops.
I would have even gone for the copyright claim. I mean, how could they get rid of Biden's dogs when after the last 4 years they had this raging animal allowed in the White House, which we can see here? I mean, look at that. I mean, Cujo allegedly had rabies. That motherfucker's got rabies. He's not well. And he had walk-in privileges and everything. I bet he peed on the carpets. I bet they struggled to get the smell out.
His rabies is the only thing that's managed to keep his hep C at bay.
Oh my God. Thank God he's out. Take that picture down. So there we go. The dogs are out of the White House. As quick as they were in, they're gone.
Sad times.
Sad times indeed.
It is a shame though, because we were saying how much it is good to have dogs in the White House, and that's one thing Donald Trump didn't have, which it's nice to get the dog stories, but now I suppose it's not nice to get the dog stories if they are biting incidents.
We don't know who they bit.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
So you can keep the messages coming through, or try and keep to the ones that are broadcastable.
Yeah, that's why you should always get cockapoos. That's why you think, oh, Eric's out walking his dog and he's got this little wimpy ass cockapoo. My dog don't bite. It didn't even really go after the fox. It was actually, tonight it was looking to find the fox because he thought the fox was lost and couldn't find its way back to the park.
Such a nice, helpful dog.
He's a very helpful dog.
Right, you can keep the comments coming. If you're enjoying the show, you can chuck some money in our little support it pot, which actually keeps the lights on. But as we said before, there are lots of lights. There are slightly fewer lights here because it turns out I was oversaturated. But anyway,
that's right. And we do have a very specific goal, which is enough money for us to max out on our next contactless payment.
Yes.
Because the new contactless payment is £100. So we want to just once in our life have that chance.
Beep.
Just once.
Due to desperation, I once bought a cheap car on a credit card, and that felt good. How much are you buying on your credit card? Bought a car. Beep, 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 beep.
Yep.
But not that was the shape of my PIN number. But right, on to the next problem. Keep the contributions coming in to get us to that limit would be absolutely lovely. But meanwhile, I want to talk about something else you could do with your money. I suppose the problem I'm solving here is what to do if you've got way too much money, nowhere near enough sense, and are desperate to find a solution to that situation. Well, good news, because you could buy the first ever tweet.
What?
It's difficult to get your head around, isn't it? But the first ever tweet that was ever tweeted on Twitter is now up for sale. And you think, oh, that's cute seeing it. What, a framed? No, it's not a framed thing. You actually get to own the tweet. Oh, that's a cutesy little thing. Yeah. And like last week or the week before on the show, we covered a house that you could buy for like 80 pence or whatever the hell it was in Wales. So, all right, got a little bit of cash lying around. I'll buy a tweet. How much is it going for? $2.5 billion. You sit down. $2.5 million to buy the first ever tweet. This is the tweet, by the way. Oh, it's not even a good tweet. Just setting up my Twitter. You're in charge of Twitter, mate. You can't spell Twitter.
They had 140 characters back then.
Yeah, there was no reason for the Twitter. You might as well. I mean, I'd pay more for Cafefe.
That'd be a good one.
But admittedly, I mean, as cute as it is as a little tweet, that is right at the start of Twitter, before Twitter became mainly about saying how much you hate people and try and get them cancelled for using language you don't like. So it was a different time. It was before the Arab Spring. It was before everyone was tweeting about what tea they were having. It was a simpler time. But if we look at the story, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey selling the first ever tweet, and it's a digital collector's item known as this NFT, non-fungible token, which is, you can somehow gift the ownership. It's a unique digital token which verifies authenticity and ownership. If you want to do that, I'll sell one of those for the absolutely hideous Dolly Parton singing I've been doing.
Oh, no.
Buy it from me.
You're not going to play it again, are you?
Well, turns out I own it, so I could. And if you want to stop me playing that again, NFT my ass.
All right. I'll do it.
That's the only way to make money in this business. But it's not the only way to make money in this business. You could, if you can't afford $2.5 million, and you know, hey, there's been a lockdown on. We're not all as flush as we used to be. There's a cheaper version. You could buy a tweet from me. That's why earlier on today I tweeted this. Just tweeting this in case any idiot wants to buy it in the future. Just thought I'd lay some groundwork in there. It's better to be prepared. Just checking on, kind of been told we've got some offers coming in on it already. I'll give you 10p.
I mean,
take it.
That's profit, isn't it?
Put it down there. But look, I know it seems like I'm trying to rip off idiots, and I am. But if you're not an idiot, you're not my target demo. So instead, here's the thing, and this is what this show's really good at. We often have like savings advice, and we've done very various shows where I've been in the kitchen doing certain recipes. Here's a little DIY section. If you'd like to save yourself $2.5 million, just DIY the tweet. Just setting up my I did it, it's mine now, and look at the savings I've made. Feel free to do the same.
I think you could charge for that.
Yeah.
Apparently charge for anything.
It's ridiculous, isn't it, that you can buy ownership of a tweet. And then what happened was Jack tweeted, because there's the website called Valuables or something where you can buy these non-fungible tokens. So he tweeted to say the NFT was available, and I thought to myself, how much for that one? Like, if I buy that, do I get a share of the valuables? Just up here for thinking.
You just screenshot it.
Yep. In fact, where is it? I'll.
Can't,
if you can't be bothered.
Take your screenshots away from me. God damn it.
Yeah. If you can't be bothered to track down the actual tweet, just screenshot that. You don't even have to screenshot the actual thing. Just take it from us. We don't mind.
Look at the value you get from this show. This show's worth 2.5 mil. Easy.
We will accept offers less than that. Mark says,
I mean,
as this is the first ever tweet, how did he get a blue tick?
Well, I think when you set it up. I mean, to be fair, he has been trying to make money out of Twitter all this time.
That's the only way to do it. Right. In fact, I've not gone to comment cam. See the difference with the light. The lighting doesn't work. I've turned down those lights. The Comic Cam looks grim.
Well, you're bringing up Comet Cam.
Chameleon.
I can't speak. I'm going to bring it up with our HR. I'll say thank you to Emma for a little Ko-fi action she's put our way.
Oh, thank you very much, Emma.
Thank you very much. All the money tonight can go towards me getting some trousers.
And you can buy my non-fungible token.
Non-fun. Ugh. That's what you see if I don't even have the pants on.
Oh dear, put your token away. Bishop says, sounds like a load of old monkey bollocks to me. That might be the best summary of exactly the situation. Load of old monkey bollocks. Reminds me of the Simpsons Mr. Burns guard dog that attacked everyone at the touch of a button. They took away Trump's Diet Cola button, but forgot the attack dog one. Release the hounds. The guy looks like he was on methadone. I don't know who we're talking about.
Jack?
Eric's trouserless look.
I think we're talking about Jack. He doesn't look well because he's a vegan.
Can't say that these days.
Can I say it like that? He's vegan.
Not why he doesn't look well. There are other reasons.
He
All the cocaine. You probably can't say that. You probably can't say that.
can't really say that. Now you're talking about Don Jr. again. And you can say that.
Don Jr. That must have been who they were talking about.
There we go.
Well,
It's hard to remember our own show.
it flies by so much.
Just by the seat of our pants, I'd say.
Well, if you were wearing any, you would.
I got socks on. Just in case there's a fire.
In case there's a fire. Because you wouldn't want to be barefoot. That'd be embarrassing.
You gotta run outside.
We've all seen Die Hard, never be barefoot, just in case.
I'm in a loft now as well. So, right.
It's my favourite part of the show when we're done and just freewheeling for a while.
We've run out of. Well, we're gonna be. What do we got? We're gonna be back on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the highlight of our week. Oh, what's that you have there, Steve?
Oh, hi. I'm Steve Allen. You might recognise me from things like my book. If you, you buy a copy or don't really. I'm terrible at. I've been doing loads of interviews on various radio stations to plug it, and my attitude is always buy a copy, don't buy it. Buy the E1. It's I don't know, don't kill a tree for this. I've heard these jokes, but there's a book out there. Lasted another year despite a pandemic. It's buyable.
It's buyable. Do that. And if you need something to listen to, you can listen to my podcast, American Exchange, where I talk to people in America about America and exchange ideas. It's very complicated. I like titles like Comic Solving Problems. Boom. You know what you're getting.
Problems, yeah.
American Exchange. Boom. You know what you're getting.
America, yeah.
And you know what? When I record the podcast, I don't wear trousers for that either. Don't tell Mary Trump that.
The poor woman's had enough to go through. Britt said, where has it gone? I've just seen it and it's disappeared. Britt said that Eric didn't say that he was wearing socks on his feet.
Well spotted, Britt.
Double bagging.
Well spotted. That's wearing sock.
Eric isn't wearing any pants. # American humor.
Could be kind of, Benny Hill-esque.
Yeah. And the bishop says, do you want me to buy another copy? You've done enough. You really have. Thank you. You've done enough already. No one needs 2 copies of that.
Christmas.
Yeah, you could give them to people that you really...
Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, you could do a gift for
Mother
that.
on Sunday.
It was International Women's Day just
There you go.
The other day. In fact, what I did for that, because I'm trying to make money writing greetings cards as well. And that bit's not even a joke. I am trying to do that. But I thought what we should do is come up with International Women's Day greetings cards. Yeah. And I didn't put this on the show, so I've not written it down, but I'll try and remember it. I thought of a couple of verses to go in International Women's Day greeting cards.
Okay.
Roses are red, donkeys bray. Congratulations to you on International Women's Day. It feels like it needs more than that. So I then went away and I came up with... roses are red, Motorola cell phones. I respect both of your X chromosomes. So, they're available. You could write that in your own card and send it next year if you want to. Is that too sciencey for you?
No. I just can't believe that's how we're ending the show.
I can.
Mark has got one more comment. You have double figures on Here, Steve, 11 people are watching.
Nice.
He doesn't say which here it is.
Yeah. Thankfully, we do
Could
go
be
out
a
to a
number of
few other
places.
places.
You go to more than one portal.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, oh, only this many people. It's at least twice that.
And last time we did a show, we had one viewer on Trovo. We're finally breaking through that Trovo ceiling.
Yeah.
Although no viewers there today, I imagine we never check that. There are some portals that we go to that we never even look to see if it's actually broadcasting. So,
Which is actually kind of a dangerous thing to ignore.
yeah.
We could have gotten banned and gotten the publicity of that off of a channel and not even anyway. Right. But we will be back on this channel on Thursday at 9 o'clock, won't we?
Yeah. Till then, have a good one. Bye.
See you there. Bye.